For this video, I made a copy of the file we created in the last video, and I just changed the name to be MUT007 Analyze File. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to analyze this file, meaning we're going to check this file for warnings and errors. To do this, I'm going to click on this button here that says Analyze File when we hover over it. If we want to see the icon and the name, I'll click on the arrow down here to expand this out. Now we can see the icon and the name Analyze File. Clicking this arrow down, we can analyze the project or validate the file, validate the project. For us, it's the same thing. We only have one file in this project. Hovering over Validate File shows we can check the file only for validation errors. And clicking that shows we have no validation errors. Hovering over the Analyze Project, we see this will check the project for validation errors and Workflow Analyzer violations. Clicking that shows us we have 10 warnings and 2 messages. If I hover over this icon, it shows us we can analyze the file or press F7 and check the validation errors and workflow analyzer violations. Looks like the same thing, but when I click it here, we only see 8 warnings. So I'm going to run it this way with the Analyze project. So we get all 10. And the 2 that were not showing up just a moment ago are this unused dependencies and the automation hub URL. To get rid of these warnings, I'm going to skip around a little bit and try and get the easiest ones first. Down here we see 2 that say activity name defaults. The multiple assign has a default name, and we have 2 of them. That's these first 2, both have multiple assign. And if we notice down here, we've got another one, display name duplication. Multiple assign display name is defined many times. So just changing this first one will remove 2 warning messages. I'll change this first activity display name to be assign string variables, and I'll analyze the project. We now see we've got 8 warnings, just like we thought. To get rid of another warning message, I'll rename this second multiple assign to be analyze integer variables, and I'll analyze the project. And now we're down to 7 warnings. Out of the 7 warnings, we notice that 5 of these are variable naming conventions. The variable, and then it gives the variable name, does not respect the set pattern, and then it has some regex code here, meaning the file starts with DT underscore or upper or lowercase letter, and it goes on from there. There are 2 ways that we can fix this warning. One is to change the name of the variable. So I'll go over to the variable names and change str to be str, take away the underscore, and then number 1. And I'll click off the variable I'm editing to make sure that that is locked in. And now we'll analyze the project. And we go down to 6 warnings. So that way worked. Another way we can change this is we'll say that I really want this to be str underscore. So we'll say str underscore number 1. And I'll click off it again to make sure that it gets locked in. I'm going back over to our errors to see the codes here. And to view the code, we want to make sure we're in the Explorer window, not the activities, but the Explorer window. And clicking on this ... button, going to project settings. And here we see Workflow Analyzer. Now we can see all the codes. And the one we're looking for is this STNMG001, which is right here, STNMG001, variable naming convention. And when I click this, we can see that regex code. Now, there is an easier way to get to this Workflow Analyzer window. I'll cancel out, and just going up to Analyze File, this bottom one, Workflow Analyzer Settings. Takes me right in. Then I come down to STNMG. Where is it down a little further? NMG1, naming convention. So it will allow DT underscore. I'm also going to allow STR underscore, but I'll first have to add in a pipe symbol that means or. Then I'll put in the STR underscore. So our variable name can start with DT underscore or STR underscore. Clicking OK. And then Analyze Project. Shows we now only have 5 warnings. We have the INT, and DBL. We can also add them into the regex code. STNMG1. And down here we can say or STR underscore or INT underscore or DBL underscore. And clicking OK, and then Analyze Project. Now we're down to 2 warnings. This bottom one is unused dependencies. Now dependencies are packages we add in for specific code. For example, if we were using email, we would add in an email package. But in this process, we're not using any email packages, so we don't want to add that code in to keep our code as light as possible. So the dependencies are found up here in the Explorer window, Dependencies window, and looking at them shows we don't know which ones we're using or not. It's kind of difficult to tell. But there is an easy way to remove the unused dependencies, and that is the button over here on the ribbon, Remove Unused Dependencies. Are you sure you want to remove all the unused dependencies? Yes. Okay. And now running the Analyze project leaves us this one warning, the Automation Hub URL. Your organization requires your project to have an automated hub URL defined. The Automation Hub is a place where people in your company or organization can share things. In this tutorial series, we're just individuals and we're not sharing with anyone. Maybe in the future, I'll have more to say about the Automation Hub, but for now, we're going to go up to the Workflow Analyzer settings and look for STUSG34. STUSG34 Automation Hub URL. And I'm going to uncheck that. So this will not be part of the Workflow Analyzer checks. Now I'll click OK and Analyze Project. And that warning has gone away as well. Now the last thing I'm going to mention in this video is that when we update the validation rules, it's not just updating the rules for this file. It's updating the rules for every UiPath program on this computer. So you will want to keep that in mind when you're changing these rules. In the next UiPath tutorial, we'll get an introduction to data tables for UiPath.